Hello and welcome, just check my microphone is working there, welcome to Season 6 of Assetto Corsa Competizione with Apex Online Racing. We are just started qualifying, just trying to let everybody roll out and get out of the way really. We're going to have to pull out in a minute to make sure that the first cars don't come around and catch me up. We're in Tier 7, we were in Tier 7 last season where I had a very miserable time in the McLaren. But the difference this season is there are 10 tiers. We've had over 400 drivers sign up for this season. So we're looking at 40 drivers for each tier, which is quite impressive.
It exits clear. All right, Stevie. We've got
and means that things are going to be very, very tight.
To get some heat into these brakes.
And initially, I was, much to my dismay, assigned to Tier 9, which I took a little bit of an objection to. Didn't realise that the hot stints after my first season was Season 3, so this is my third season. It's fourth season. Didn't realise the hot stint would have such a bearing on position. Otherwise, I might have tried a little bit harder than I did. So I had a word and we had a chat, and there wasn't any space on tier 8 where I thought I would have had a more interesting season with a closer challenge. So they moved me to tier 7, where I suspect I'm going to be slightly outclassed in terms of pace. So not expecting great things from this season, but it's an opportunity to learn and try and get faster, which is what it's all about. And pace tonight, I've been getting pretty regular 50s, 1 minute 50 around Monza. Pole will probably be just inside of 47, I imagine. Just now in free practice there were a few 48s going in, so I'm within 2 seconds. I'd rather be within 1 second, but we'll find out. And this is the outlap, so we'll probably go quiet in a second. We'll actually try and have a go, getting a decent time. Monza is very much to me like a platform game. It's all about very, very precise braking at an exact point, and I'm rubbish at platform games, which is possibly why I'm not the fastest around this track. So it's all about precise braking, so you make the various chicanes in time, really. Our first job, I think, is to get a banker in.
The leader's just done a 148.59.
48s are in there already, but that's not a surprise. I think some people who've got pace around here can turn in 48s on a regular basis.
The guy ahead has just done a 150.50. Sector 1 is 0.8.
Well, that's actually slower than his best qualifying lap today.
Make this one a late apex, just about there. This one's a bit more in the middle of the corner. If you go too far to the left here, you'll catch the grass and the car will go straight to the barriers on the right hand side. So you can't push too hard or it will end in tears. Brake at the bridge overhead.
Sector 2 is 1.4 seconds.
Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best intermediate.
Just about to Murray.
148.33. Okay, Stevie, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
And I actually found in practice the most time to be made was in Parabolica here, which I'm really not good at taking consistently. So 51, that's really poor. Thank you, Charlie.
The leader has just done a 148.26. That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel. Sector 1 is 0.8.
Well, that's actually slower than his best qualifying lap today.
That was a great, had to hold the throttle then. Oh, got my foolish teammate behind me. That wasn't good planning. Unless he's trying to get a tow from me. Nyns has become the tier coordinator this season. What a brave buy.
The leader's just done it, 148.12.
I can assure you I had absolutely nothing to do with putting his name forward for the job. Come on. I'm getting into the 50s at least on this one, but it's a long 50, so it won't be particularly impressive in terms of grid position.
P32.
We've gone backwards, P32.
Right, we're running on fumes, mate.
Enough fuel for this last lap.
Sector 1 is 0.7.
Compared with his previous times, I can see that he's actually slower there.
That's a new fastest lap for Gaia, 147.86. Two litres remaining. Sector 2 is 1.2 seconds.
Compared with his previous times, I can see that he's actually slower there.
I think what Murray's referring to is my practice sessions, which were quicker than this.
One litre remaining. B33.
No change in position, despite an improvement in time. How's it looking? Not looking good. 47 as predicted for pole. Oh, we're actually last at the moment because nobody else behind us has set a time. So we got to bump it up. As well go, there's just nothing but traffic. Indeed, Lord Nem, we do hope it's a clean start.
Car approaching, watch your mirrors, blue flag. On your left, clear left. Five minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
That's the blues. He'll have to pull over now.
Car on the right.
Car right,
Clear on the right.
clear right.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
3 minutes to go. Have enough fuel for 3 chances, but it's whether I can keep it on the track if I start pushing hard. And it's a busy track too. As Hitchcock found out when the car just bogged down just in the wrong place in front of him. Fortunately, we've got P2 right behind us, but there's nothing I can do. I'm on a lap.
Sector 1 is 0.9.
Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best intermediate.
New fastest lap for Gaia, 147.81.
John Becker there, forgetting what quali's all about. He's just used text chat.
2 minutes to go, 2 minutes. Okay, Stevie, 5 minutes of fuel remaining, 5 minutes.
Not an improvement this one. Thought it might have been, but it isn't. Lane last. My quali performance continues as expected.
B35. Sector 1 is 0.7.
Well, that's actually slower than his best qualifying lap today.
That's a blue flag.
Shit.
This lap won't count, you've cut the track.
Lost that lap.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Left side, clear left.
Flag in sector 3.
Oh, we're out of time. Shit. Well, that was a really bad qualifying for me.
White flag, mate.
Yellow
There
flag
must be an accident. The yellow flags are out.
So one of my worst times in all my sessions.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
Oh well. Give me an opportunity to avoid the trouble at the back, in the middle of the pack. Lord Nem's only just in front of me, that's a surprise. Nyns is just very slightly in front of us. So yeah. Nyns got a 49.3, I got a 50.6. I should have at least been a short 50, but everybody's in the 49s except me, so I've been struggling to get in the 49s all week, so that was inevitable. I was going to be at the back, I think. But that's been my worry about ending up in Tier 7. Well. Jet pressures are good. Different set of tyres on. Jet to set 8. We're all good. Alright. And while we're waiting, So we've just got a few minutes now. We'll wait for race start, then we'll do the formation lap before the race proper. Just having a look at who has qualified where. I think the furthest forward driver in this group who was in Tier 7 last season with us is Przaszki, who's only made it to P13. So it's a lot faster this season, I think, in this tier. Dami Ayo, who's the most recent joiner of Team BeesWax for endurance racing, 16. Steph Farrell is 25th. Conor McCarthy, who won Tier 7, I think it was, 2 seasons ago, he's in 28th. Nyns, 33, Lord Nem, 35, and I'm in 36. I won't tell the full story because I'm quite a way off the pace down in 36. But my quality is always dreadful, which is part of my argument for why I thought I was in the wrong tier, because I can't quali and I can't hot stint. What I can do is usually put a good steady pace in the race and avoid trouble, which is usually my best trick. But we'll have to see. Just can't quite see Nyns to the front right of us with our beautiful livery this season, all thanks to no one else or Eugene. There's a link down below if you fancy a livery. I think Eugene's offering to do them on commission now, so if you've got something special in mind, and it's for ACC of course, I'm able to do other games if you ask him, please contact him. 1 and a bit minutes to go. I did reach out to the rest of the tier to ask them if they had any custom liveries they wanted to send our way, so you could see them on the broadcast, but nothing came in, so I don't know if they've not got that far yet or if they're not that bothered about doing customised liveries for the season. And tonight's race was going to be in VR, but I've found the VR's a little bit flaky. Don't know what it is yet, I'm still investigating, but it can, VR, it just shuts off on occasion, and it only seems to do it online. I played for hours on Sunday offline and never had a problem, and the minute I went online, it started getting all flaky on me and just turning off after a few laps, which of course I can't have because you can't see a bloody thing. I think that's a little trick I've learned there, to go into the setup and you'll pop back out of setup with warm tyres. Might help a little bit. And the pit stop's all set. So let's see how we do on turn 1 in this tier. Most of the practice races have been quite carnage. So to be honest, this is probably the safest place to be. And I'm wondering if this track suits the Aston man. I didn't really look at that in terms of who qualified where. This looks like a Lambo on pole. Hondas, Bentleys, Lexus. So you've got to wonder, perhaps, maybe the reality is I'm struggling a bit, but maybe this is a weak track for the Aston, because I can see nothing but Aston Martins around me. The odd Ferrari. And there's a lot of new faces, I think, here tonight. There seems to be even more interest in league racing. We've just got into another lockdown around most of the world, just prior to this season. There's a possibility of one restart if there's utter carnage, which hopefully there won't be. Oh, it does this every time I start racing. My throttle pedal starts squeaking, and I forget every time afterwards I need to either get some grease on it or some oil. Probably need to give the pedals a good service. So Nyns is hoping for the best tonight. He's been a trouble magnet in all the practice races. I don't think he got out of lap 1 in one piece in any of the races. Don't spin out in the warm-up lap.
The track temp is 27 Celsius.
Go.
Okay, Stevie.
Just waiting for the lights now. The tension is unbearable.
Yeah, we should be all right to get in position. Is it Courier Coffees and an Aston Martin up ahead? It should be interesting. Something I need to. I won't remember, but it'd be interesting to see how far up any Aston Martin is. That's my excuse anyway. We also found out that the new Ferrari and the new Mercedes do not have the legs to go all the way to the finish on engine map 1.
The lights are out. It goes.
So anybody who's in a Mercedes or a Ferrari who hasn't really practiced enough
Clear right.
is going to be in for an unpleasant surprise if they run out of fuel.
Still there.
No point charging
Right
into
side's
this.
clear. Right side.
There we go,
Clear
we're off to the left.
There's a white flag.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Car right. Right side's clear.
Yellow flag.
I
Yellow
think
flag.
there's some kind of incident. I can see yellow flags.
There's only one Porsche in the whole tier.
Car left. Clear left.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
There's an incident in Curva Grande. Looks like it's Watson.
Car on the
Car
left.
left. Hold your line. Still there.
Clear on the
Clear
left.
left.
Has the lead.
Thunder. is
He's there who's taken the Porsche. Jesus. Where's the grip gone? Right, let's get to it.
White flag.
Car ahead.
Something's happened. The yellow flags are out.
Well, that's Bajarski. He's quite experienced, Bajarski. But I fear some of the other drivers are not. Pise will not be happy. Oh, Jesus.
Left side. Clear left.
Dammy Io is off as well. So lap 2 is a bit cleaner. Drivers into the pits already.
B27.
Really don't want to be recovering to the pits via the menu if you can avoid it, because your car's locked for like 2 minutes. And your race is very much over if you lose 2 minutes. going to be until quite a bit of weight's gone out of the car before it gets really nimble. Losing time here to Kononov. He's trying to close it on us. Oh, he just lost it big style there, Kononov.
Well done, Stevie. Great move. Keep it up.
Big chain of cars there. I just wanted to try and catch him up a little bit.
B26.
The car is exiting the pits, watch out.
There's a white flag. Car right. He's still there.
Clear on the right.
Clear right.
Car on the right.
Bad luck, Stevie. Come on, don't let him get away.
Clear on the right.
Jeez,
Car right.
what's he doing?
Right side's clear. Car left. Still there. Still there.
Clear on the left.
Clear left. Awesome. Well done. The leader has just done a 149.40. Fastest lap for Dyer, 149.31.
That's got a bit of time there. No, Bees getting on the inside of that corner really put me off a little bit. Just remember to turn repairs off at the moment. It's just a light tap on Ziege and he came right back across me. He wasn't in front enough to be pulling back across.
B27, the car behind's pitting.
Just not with it at the moment. I'm not in the groove.
The gap is growing.
2.5 seconds.
So Kononov's got to remember here, he's not required to leap out of my way. We look pretty even on pace. It's just if I get in the right position for a corner, he just needs to yield.
The leader has just done 149.28. New fastest lap for Dyer, 148.94.
Damiayo sped in the pit lane as well, for good measure. He's having a nightmare. Okay, it's 51.4, so we get a bit more on the pace, I think. I don't know what this guy's doing behind.
On your right. Hold your line.
Is blue flag? What's he doing? He's interfering with the
Clear right.
race.
has just done a 149.12. That's a new fastest lap for Dyer, 148.92. B27.
Not going fast enough. Stick to the 51.3 now if I don't get any more interference.
The gap in front has increased. It's now about 4.4 seconds.
Losing time to the car in front in sector 2.
Getting the same lap time as Kononov. Apologies. It's a very gentle arrival into T1. Well, we've ended up with Tier 7 drivers from last season, Prajarski and Ayo, a lap down behind us, so they've not had a good start. Tire pressures look a little bit low actually at the moment. It's a bit strange. We've got Lord Nem in front of us. Been there might be the battle this season, me versus Lord Nem. He did approach me as
The gap ahead is now
took a team up,
3.3 seconds.
but Nyns had got in there first actually, and I said I have to be loyal to my endurance teammate. Question marks obviously still remain over that lordship status. None of us were particularly convinced by the witnesses last season. I think even neutral observers were staying, possibly family members were testifying on his behalf, or actors who were family members. Need to keep Kononov honest, I think. I've not done my pit stop yet, and he has done his pit stop. If he can make it all the way to the end on that set of tyres. So we could be quite close towards the end if I let him get away. Bize and Nem are pretty close to each other. I need to stop messing about really. Kononov needs to be careful. He's interfere with Lord now. Come on, I'm letting him get away. Well, we lost a lot of time there with that slide. Doing a 53 this lap, that's terrible. He's dropped back. M's in front. Looks like them two are exchanging places.
Incident in Curva Grande.
Oh, God, I don't need this. Come on. Can't get it together tonight at all. I know I've had a bit of a long, hard day at work, but nevertheless. God, keep going to a standstill at all those chicanes.
The gap in front is now 4.0.
It's getting warm in here as well. Just seen the leaders done a 149 while I'm doing 152s. Dreadful. We have a new toy in the computer, we got a new graphics card. It's not helping me go any faster though, but it is helping with the rendering, which is now looking like it's super slick, and the game is virtually turned up to the max in terms of graphics settings. Still on 60 frames per second. So we got a 3090. Fancy something or other by EVGA. Because I didn't want any opportunities to say I've not got the most powerful card, so that's why we're losing frames or anything. So we're getting pretty good performance, and also I got VR, and I wanted the performance of that to be a lot better as well. VR in ACC is renowned for looking a bit shit, and it's pretty passable now. Just need to sort out why it's not fully working properly. My God, first time I've took that chicane properly in ages. And why I keep getting one of the eyes closing on me, for want of a better description. Well, the result of the 3090 is getting a bit warm in here. Minutes in, I've gotten nowhere really. I've not got any pace. Somebody's way off track there. It's gonna go off. And sometimes, what's he doing? Is the worry with so we've got the qualifying process is one. Evaluation race, or more evaluation races if you want to turn up for them, and a hot stint and you're in. But the evaluation race is more of a bit of a guide, and so people can be good at doing hot laps and the hot stints, but not really be used to racing in a pack. Or racing for an hour solid. We try and make as small a number of mistakes as possible.
Car on the right. Clear on the
Pitting.
right.
He's got the pits.
Falling behind the car in front. in sector 2.
So that was Torpedo. He was well up the field, Torpedo, on quali. I only presume he might have had a bit of an issue to be in the pits this early. Gaps appeared now between Pizé and them. But the gap between me and Pizé is pretty constant. It's been about 4 and a bit seconds.
The gap in front is now 4.4.
This is looking like a half decent lap so far, which is famous last words, but it's astonishing how much pace I've lost. And that was a terrible Ascari. Not now I'm still improving on my time ever so slightly, but that was really bad. I'm not anymore. .2. This is a 51.3, so we are pretty close on pace. Given my relative lack of pace, I think it's a case of attrition perhaps on this one. Seeing if we can get into the top 20. Could be a big ask. Take chicanes like that, you certainly won't do it. Because that's allowed. Easy, another second. Another second, yeah, easy, another second, maybe another second and a half. Brzezinski slowly but steadily caught me up for 20 seconds. It's now just 5 seconds behind. Well, one thing you won't hear this season is me complaining about being at the back, because I asked to be here. Also, I made the determination really to switch to the Aston.
B25.
So I won't be complaining about anything. I might look miserable because I'm at the back. Steph Farrell in the pits as well. Six minutes though until the normal pit stop starts, so Farrell was in the pits there. I don't know if it's on plan.
The gap in front has increased to 5.9 seconds.
Yeah, he's pulling away now, PZ. I've got really bad grip. The tyres aren't up to the right pressure. The track's gone cooler or something. Let's have a look. 26 degrees. I think it's a little bit cooler. My grip's really going. I'll put 5 bar on either side, on the right hand side. Let's make it 4. Already work the pairs are off.
Pitting.
I think I'm not the only one suffering a bit with tyres there. It's like Nem and
Come on, get your act together. P19.
PZ. No, PZ still going. Lord Nem pitted though. Zhashki's just 2 seconds behind us now. Now remember, he has pitted, so after I've pitted he'll be not that far behind. He's actually leapt to 7 seconds away. I'm having that much trouble the last few laps. So possibly a false position at the moment in P19. Jay Ellis behind me in P20 has pitted.
Car ahead's pitting now. '17th place.
Nyns is still ahead of us in P14. Not a position he's used to either. He's probably going to be grumbling tonight about how we're all a bit outpaced this season. I think ideally we'd have been in Tier 8, but then Tier 8 would have had about 60 drivers in it.
The gap ahead is now 18 seconds.
Zhashki is now closed right up on us. Kolonov's now 12.8 seconds ahead, but I'm not sure if he's lost another lap if he had issues. I think last I saw of him, he went off, didn't he? Finally, when the car gets to 60 litres, it starts to feel like it can drive it.
P15.
T-Rip's got a stop go 30 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. We should probably pit at the end of this lap, but his tyres are getting pretty worn out. Not entirely thrilled with the pressure of him either. Put another little tickle in the front left.
All right, Stevie, the next car is Trip.
Oh, we'll leave the front left.
We are halfway through, keep pushing.
That's half distance. Fuel levels
Do we
are fine.
pit? I think we do.
The gap behind is now 8.6. Trip in front is pitting.
Our penalty has to be served within 3 laps, so Trip's not no choice really.
He'll be very aware that races can be won or lost in the pit lane. He's coming in for fuel and a fresh set of
I might
tyres.
regret that, but we'll have
On
one
exit,
more
we should be in
PSI in there.
position 17, right behind Watson.
Okay. See how far down we drop. Trip. That was a fast 30 seconds for Trip. Oh, I've got to do a full pit stop, I guess. So, dirt on my behalf. So Trip won't end up behind us. He's probably got the pace to stay away as well. Down to 25th already. This is looking a bit grim.
Come on, let's go.
Looks like you're clear on the pit exit.
That's the blues. He'll have to pull over now.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Didn't have much chance then. It would have much better speed to carry through. Well, I'm really in it now. I'm in P27, but I got Becker just 7 seconds behind. Jump Lord Nem in the pits. He's behind us. By 17 seconds, what was he doing? I think he's 8 seconds away. I think any chances of a top 20 are pretty remote unless I have an amazing second half of this race, which you can't quite see. Definitely not been quite on it tonight. Big stutter then. I imagine somebody either left or joined the server.
B26.
Trip was in the pits again. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, Stevie, you've got half your fuel left.
Fodor is up into second place at the moment, but he's flattering to deceive. He's still not pitted.
The leader, Dyer, is pitting.
It's like the pair of them were at it at the front. Ziga did. Ziga did a 50.4.
150.77.
Well, we got the tyre pressures increased and we immediately went like a second faster. Wow.
Times are pretty consistent.
And, of course, fuel level came down. So the weight in the car's a lot less. I'll only take one mistake, I think, and I'll lose places rapidly and go towards the back. 25 minutes to go.
The gap in front has increased. It's now about 2.7 seconds.
Oh, not such a good lap this time. I don't know if I'm tensing up or something in the race. Becker's really closing in on us fast. Don't think I'm going to be able to hold him off. Yeah, I've lost a second to Ziga. You can just see Nyns up ahead of us as well. Ziga did a 49 then. I can't do a 49. It would appear. Becker did a 49 too. A 49 too as a 49. So I'm really up against it here. Just outpaced. I could be slipping back to 29th, I think. Don't know about the pace of Oppenhausen.
The gap behind is now 1.6 seconds.
Improving.
Losing to the car ahead is up to 1.
This was the pattern though, I think, in the practice races. I started to come into the 50s in the second half. I think he touched a few 49s, proving them to myself I'm a liar. Don't intend to fight Becker too much when he does catch us. He's got a lot fast, more pace than I have.
The leader has just done a 148.49.
flag in sector 2.
20 minutes remaining, you've got 20 minutes left.
Well, I'm pushing. I think every lap at the moment I'm improving, but Becca's still closing in. Well, Becca's half a second a lap faster. He's going to make a dive to T1.
Car on the right.
Car right. Hold your line. Clear right. The leader has just done a 148.33.
Lord Nem's next, 5 seconds away. The pace between me and Lord Nem is a lot closer, but he's still been closing in for a number of laps. Must be a cut there for Becca. Right across the sand. So a slightly slower lap time, but I did have to give way to Becca on the inside of T1.
No more mistakes. Concentrate. B26. Fastest lap for Dyer, 148.18.
Lord Nemi is slowly closing in. There's only 15 minutes to go. I'm not sure I can keep him where he is. Slower this lap. Nem's a second a lap faster than me. Need to move it. stutter.
Okay, Stevie, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
Still says we have 35 drivers on the server. I think we started with 36, so we're doing pretty well. Actually, I'm not sure if Lord Nem is listening into this broadcast. He might be trying to sneak away my race strategy. Maybe if I feed him some false information, it'll put him off. Things like Bono, my tyres are gone, might give him false hope. See him on the radar now, actually. Car behind me. Pace appears to have dropped to the 50.8s again.
That lap was at 150.80.
Nem got a 50.4. Bet Lord Nem's tyres have gone. I bet he pitted too early, actually. Let's sow those seeds of doubts if he's listening in. Pitted way ahead of me, and I bet his tyres are shot now, so he needs to be careful if he's pushing on the track, don't you, Lord Nem? Because push too hard, and away you'll go.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Straight off, I can imagine. A Welshman off the track is what will come over crew chief. He is threatening us with a car livery based on the Dragon. He'll claim it's Wales. I'll be said is this Red Dragon from Richard Harris, the serial killer. Still not able to break the 150s from the looks of things. This one's looking like a 50. I'm like a 0.4 by the time I get to the line. Especially if I do parabolica that badly. Yeah, 0.6 I think. Oh, we're up against it. And them did a 49. Despite his tyres that are shot to bits. Seems to be losing focus and speed again. But it's a bit early then.
B26. 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left. Okay, Stevie, there were chances here. Let's make sure we can take them.
I'd just like to say that crew chief says that every race. There are not chances here.
The car behind is catching.
the only
It goes
chance
now, 1.9 seconds.
It's for the Welshman whose tyres are shot to bits.
Let's mow on.
And that could really blow the race wide open.
That's a new fastest lap for Dyer, 148.17.
Looks like Decker went past Pizzi as well. Oh, that was bad, that was bad. Oh, full spin. That's definitely let Lord them through. Taking the Nyns approach there to dealing with somebody coming past you. If you think somebody's going to come past you and you don't want to lose face, do a spin. It's the Nyns way. He'd be proud of that, what he would. I think it's effectively put me almost last of the real runners. So one mistake in an entire hour. That's a shame. T-Rip, I think, might be out of the race. So a bit disappointing. I've definitely not been feeling it tonight. I don't feel right. I don't feel comfy at all. Our next objective is to try not to be lapped, but that's massively unlikely because there's 8 minutes to go and it's only 3 seconds to the leaders. Wow, lost a massive 6 seconds that lap with that spin. Wow.
B27.
The leaders are right behind me actually. I'm going to get blue flag soon. And the next bit of the race might be interesting because the potential for Mercedes and Ferrari runners who haven't done enough practice and haven't actually realised to run out of fuel. Come on, slow down, Joel, jeez. It's getting worse.
The blue flag is being waved.
Car left. Still there. Clear left.
That's heavy on the brakes through that part of the course.
Ascari.
That's the leader through. So I'll have one lap less to do than everybody else. Disappointing.
Blue flag. Car right.
This is when you really start to lose time and you have
Still
to
there. Clear right.
make way for the leaders coming through. So Lord Nem's gone now.
Okay, Stevie, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
Pretty much the potential for 2 more to maybe catch us. There's not long left though, and there'll be a bit more of a gap to P5. And there are still runners out there. I can see somebody in blue, so I am technically not last by quite some stretch. 8 from bottom, is that? Yeah, 8 from bottom, 8 from last, so that's something, I guess.
Fastest lap for Dyer, 148.13.
I'm P3's in the Honda, which is some going. Not many people choose the Honda, seen as a slow car, but clearly not round here. It is seen as a bit of a dark horse, but I think you have to work at it to get the best out of the Honda. Big stutter then. It's not been quite right for me tonight. My pace is nowhere near as good as it was in the practice races. Still got a couple of laps to go, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get below 150, which just isn't fast enough for this tier, really.
That's a blue flag.
Kangset. I better pronouncing that wrong because it's got unfault in it. Still half a second behind. We'll go wide in Parabolica. Too wide.
Car right, right side's clear.
That's the blues. He'll have to pull over now.
Cooley should get the inside of T1 ideally.
B27.
Bit of a long way away though.
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
Go wide, Land Curva Grande. Definitely over for me. I'm never going to get Lord Nem having to make way for all this traffic, which is still too far away, really, Cooley. This isn't good. Larkin gets on the second chicane. Get the inside of Lesmo 1 perhaps.
Car right. He's still there, clear right.
To give you an idea of, give you an idea of the strength of this tier. I think we have some refugees from tier 5 from a previous season. So some very quick guys. So I guess I should be pretty okay. That was still within 2 seconds of on qualifying. I was the slowest though, that was a bit depressing. I was the only one in the 50s. I did do a 49.5 once or twice, but I just could not seem to do 100 laps, but just could not do it. Something I need to work on somehow.
Alright man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
There was somebody behind Lord Nem and he's vanished, so
B27.
T-Rip who's marked as 2 laps down, so 27's easy in the bag. Not ideal really. And really it's a case of driving around this last couple of laps now. too many cars between me and Lord Nem. The gap is too big now. There we go, that'll be us across the line then. P27, not last. 27 out of 35. Could be better. Definitely lost a lot of pace towards the end.
P31, that's the end of the race. Never mind.
So, clearly areas to work on. So looks like victory went to Dyer in the Lamborghini number 31, and second place was Hinsley in the Bentley, and third place, is it Kangstep? Possible that people have overtaken each other in the warm down lap. I thought Cooley was a bit further up. I could well be wrong. No, I think the Honda Kangstep was indeed third. So, well, there we go. We knew we'd have a hard time in this tier, and I think we might well be proven to be right on that one. But we'll see. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye open. I usually do a highlight show, which will summarise the whole race and show things a bit more interesting than from the back, which was my perspective. Nyns was 21st in the end. And if I'd not had that big drop-off in pace towards the end, I would have been perhaps a little bit closer to him. Yeah, but wow, the furthest forward Aston Martin is P14, so I do have to wonder if this is perhaps a bad track for Aston's. Or perhaps just cars in my hand. Dami Ayo, down in 35, I'm not sure if he's finished or if he's still running. Pajarski 31, T-Rip after all those mishaps, finished in 28th. I can't see Steph Farrell in 16th, who was usually in the top 3 or 4 last season for Tier 7, finished 16th. And Conor McCarthy, who I was actually keeping really good pace with on one of the practice races, got 18th. So there's something not right for me tonight. I definitely wasn't feeling myself or something. Well, excuses, good racing driver. Always has lots of excuses. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you for the next round, Suzuka, next week on Tuesday. Or if you want to watch the Tier 1 race, that is broadcast live by AOR themselves with commentary. And I will catch you later. Cheerio.